Hi guys, it's Jess from Fan Fiction and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my July TBR. Alright guys, summer is officially here and there's so many books I want to read in July. I have a good mix of fantasy romance, dark romance, and then also fan fiction. So if you're unfamiliar with my channel, I post new videos every Wednesday and Sunday. If you haven't yet, please like and subscribe. You can also hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I post new bookish content. You can also check out my Instagram and Goodreads, both linked down below. With all that out of the way, let's talk about all of the books I want to read in July. Alright guys, so similar to all my other TBRs, I'm going to start off with books I'm reading for different read-alongs and readathons, and then after that I'll sort it by genre, so if you're looking for a specific genre, use the timestamps down below. So, first up we have the Flight and Glory read-along, which is being co-hosted by Monica from Pardon This Book Addict, Christy from Christy Reads a Lot, Carrie from Booked for Romance, Lizelle from Lizelle Loves Books, and myself, and this is for the Flight and Glory contemporary romance series by Rebecca Yarros, who is the same author that wrote Fourth Wing, and I was obsessed. I absolutely adore Fourth Wing, so I cannot wait to read this other series by the same author. So like I said, this is contemporary romance. It's actually military contemporary romance. I don't know very much about this series as a whole. I know the second book is like a forbidden romance, and the third book, I think the heroine is kind of running from like a darker past. So Monica from Pardon This Book Addict actually did an entire announcement video that I'll leave down in the description below. But anyway, I hope you guys join us for the first live show. It is going to be for the first 3 books in the series on Christy Reads a Lot's channel on July 22nd. So like I said, I hope you join us. It should be really fun. And next up, I'll be one of the co-hosts for the Fan Fiction Readathon. So this readathon is going from July 10th to July 16th, and it was created by Jen from the Book Refuge. So I low-key freaked out when Jen messaged and asked if I wanted to co-host, just because I recently read Manacled, and I loved it. It is my top book so far of 2023, so I just can't wait to discover more fan fiction and just talk about it with my friends. So this is also going to be co-hosted by Jen from the Book Refuge, then Mel from Mel Binds Fix, Joe from Not So Average Joe, Tiff from Tiff Talks Pages, and then Rachel from Rachel Reads and Sings. So this should be so much fun, and I will leave all of the information as far as like prompts and graphics will be on my Instagram, so keep a lookout on my page for when I post all of that. I'll also leave it down in the description below. So my TBR for this readathon, it's a little bit ambitious. So I want to read The Fallout and The Auction, which are both Dramini fanfics. However, they're both very, very long, so I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to get through both of them. I just know they're both available via audio, which is why I picked them. So if you know any shorter Dramini or just really any other Harry Potter fanfic, let me know down in the comments below, because I might need to like throw a couple shorter books in there. But overall, I am so excited, and I hope you join us. Moving into fantasy romance, A Soul of Blood and Ash is releasing in July, and I am so excited to read it. So that is the 5th book in the From Blood and Ash series. And there's a lot of confusion as to when this story takes place, like in the From Blood and Ash timeline. However, I'm pretty sure it actually starts off where the 4th book left off, and we are now in Castiel's perspective, and we're looking back on the events of From Blood and Ash, A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, and so on. So I do think you actually have to be completely caught up with the series before starting this new release. However, I'm still very excited. I am caught up with the series, and Castiel is my absolute favorite character, so I'm so excited just to see what went on from his perspective, because there are times in From Blood and Ash that we're really only getting to see what Poppy's doing, and you know Castiel was like pulling strings behind the scenes. So I cannot wait, and will definitely be reading it as soon as it releases. And next up, I plan on reading The Wolf and the Wildflower by Ella Fields. I have been waiting for this audiobook to come out since this book first released. I've had so many people recommend I pick this up, and I absolutely love Ella Fields. A King So Cold and The Stray Prince are probably 2 of my favorite fantasy romances of all time, so I have very high expectations for this book. But this is following a girl, and it's been prophesized that she is going to marry a Fae King. However, she doesn't heed this warning. She ends up marrying the Fae King, and he does something absolutely terrible to her. So she runs away, and when she runs away, she is found by a one-eyed hunter. And although she does end up fleeing him and goes back to the king, that hunter isn't done with her yet. And the story goes from there, and I cannot wait to pick this up. So this audiobook is releasing on July 24th, and I will probably read it the day it comes out. And next up is The Witch Collector, and this is by Charissa Weeks. So I actually planned on reading this book earlier this year. However, the audiobook got delayed until July, so there's still no set date. It does say July on Audible, so hopefully it's still coming out in July. But this story is following a girl who lives in this village where every few years or so a witch collector comes and takes a girl of his choosing to the Frost King, where they are never seen or heard from again. Now, a few years ago, our main character's sister was taken, so she is out for revenge. So when the witch collector comes to collect a new maiden, she ends up attacking him, and the story goes from there. So I've had a few friends that have read this that have really enjoyed it. It sounds really good. It kind of seems like a fantasy romance I probably would enjoy a little bit more during the winter, just because the whole like winter vibe. But overall, I'm very curious about this book and cannot wait to pick it up. Moving into dark romance, the first book I plan on reading is Hidden Truths, which is the third book in the Perfectly Imperfect Mafia romance series that I am currently obsessed with. I absolutely love this Mafia series. If you have not read it yet, you need to. So I believe this third book is kind of captor-captive. We're following, I'm pretty sure he's one of the hitmen, or he works for the Bratva, and he ends up finding this girl at the end of the second book that was very badly beaten and takes her back to his apartment. So I think it's their romance. And I cannot wait. So the audiobook for this releases on July 11th, and I will definitely be reading it as soon as it's available. And next up is another Mafia romance. So Mafia Target by Mila Finneli. I don't know why it has taken me so long to pick this book up, because this was one of my most anticipated releases of, I think, last year. But Mafia Target is an MM romance. We're following Giulio, and then I believe the assassin that is sent to kill him. So if you've not read this series yet, it starts with Mafia Mistress, which is my favorite in this series. It's amazing. But that is following Fausto, and then the girl he essentially steals to marry his son. Now, it doesn't end up working out because we find out that his son, Giulio, is actually gay and prefers guys. So this is his romance. And like I said, I'm pretty sure it's against the assassin that is supposed to be trying to kill him. So I'm very interested to see how that ends up playing out. But yeah, I think all of the books I've given 4.5 to 5 stars, so I'm so excited to read this one. And next up, I am finally going to be picking up Losers by Harley Laroux. So this is the first book in a duet. I know very little about this, however, I know a lot of people have recommended I pick it up. So I believe this is following a girl that's very popular in high school, and then she does something that ends up getting one of the losers expelled, so they want revenge against her. So then nothing happens, she goes off to college, and when she comes back, they're able to like seek revenge. And it's a polyamorous romance, and apparently it's really good. Super dark, and I'm very excited to check it out. Like I said, this series is super popular, and the audio is finally available, so I cannot wait to read it. All right, guys, that's it for my July TBR. So I do realize this is a shorter TBR than usual. However, I feel like over the summer, I am definitely more of a mood reader, so I kind of like to keep my options open. So these are just the books I will definitely be reading. I will probably read more than this. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. And if you have any books that I talked about or that you want to recommend, leave them down in the comments below. And I said this already, I post new videos every Wednesday and Sunday. And if you haven't yet, please like and subscribe. I will see you all next week. Bye.